play your goalie pep talk after the first period?
You know what? I think some things have to remain unsaid. It was professional. It was direct. It was something that not only caught Cam, but the rest of our team. And I think it was just a way to reset our team. I think the biggest thing, not just me calling a timeout, that anybody would have done that. I think the biggest thing is the leadership on our bench as far as what we did after that. You know, the group of leaders that we had and the way we had to come back and play the right way, and we did. So, you know, I think you got to tip your cap off to the leaders of our team to reset us.
He really was phenomenal after that timeout.
Yeah, you know what he did, and I admire what he did because, you know, it was a tough start. The disallowed goal plus the 2 other goals, you know, that's not the start you want. And, you know, what he said he did, he broke the game down into minor segments of shift after shift, 5-minute segments, and just kind of breaking the short-term focus down into the game instead of looking at the end result.
What are your thoughts on playing BSU this weekend? You guys see them every year.
Yep, it's part of the schedule that comes up early in the schedule that kind of snaps you into line. You know, watch their game against Duluth. Very, very hardworking team, well-deserved win on their behalf. They have the pack mentality. They work extremely hard in the offensive zone, getting pucks to the net. Defensive zone, it's just a wall in front of their net. They block shots. They give up their bodies. They play the right way. And again, we're going to have to be ready for that from the get-go. And you know, we started our Monday practice as far as trying to strip it down and break our game down into what we wanted to do and build it into a situation where we have success. And we're going to have to be good in a lot of different areas to beat that team.
Is this a series you want to continue in the future?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you know what? They're a program that plays the right way. They're well coached. Yeah, we want to play them every year.
How would you say some of the freshmen and some of the younger guys, how would you assess their performance this past weekend?
I thought it was good. You know, they contributed each in their own way. You know, offensively, we had a couple of young guys hit the back of the net, and you know, obviously Brock, he had a lot of opportunities. I think that'll come as far as the offensive side and scoring and finishing. But they played well, and you know, obviously they have things to work on to get better. We're going to do that daily in practice, but I think the compete level was ultra high this weekend. And again, that's all you ask. Once you have that, then everything else will fall into place.
Do you think having some of these guys get on the score sheet and stuff gives them more confidence moving forward?
Yeah, I think so. You know, anytime when you're a young guy and you have some success offensively, statistically, that helps your confidence a lot. I know just in scoring chances alone, we went over that as far as what we have to do, not only against the teams against Lake State and Maine, how we had to play, but, you know, it's going to be a different game against Bemidji. It's not going to be as easy getting pucks to the net, and we went over that. So, you know, it's putting our guys into a position of having success and trying to work at it in practice here.
You guys, number 1 in the polls, is that something that you expect, you know, being you're in Grand Forks in North Dakota? Is it a big honor? What are you guys' thoughts on that right now?
Basically, we really try not to look at it, and that's not a cliche. You know, this isn't a time of year that you want to get hooked on the national rankings, and we told our guys that, you know, it's an honor to be at that at this time of year, but really, you know, there's so many good teams. You look at the games last weekend that we played, or that the national schedule permitted, and, you know, you have BU losing, you have BC losing, you have teams pop out from everywhere that can beat top programs. We're not concerned about the polls at this time of year.
Considering what happened UND, Bemidji State last week, I mean, what going into this game against the Beavers, are you kind of, you know, looking at this, especially what happened last year, you know, them coming in here to the Ralph and winning? Are you guys really on edge against the Bemidji State?
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. We got after it on Monday. We talked about it. You know, we did a review of Lake State and Maine, and in that meeting, we talked about our next opponent. And ever since that meeting, we're talking about the things that gives Bemidji success. And if you can remember last year, they came into our rink and they beat us 5-1, and that was a tough loss for us, kind of snapped us back in. And, you know, we went over to Bemidji, and that was a tight checking game. You know, we hung on to win that game, and I think we scored a total of 3 goals that whole weekend to win one game. So, again, that's how tough it is against that team. We're going to have to make sure that we outwork them to get a win.
Coach, when you look at the 3 times the team has been on the ice, you've come from behind twice and then run into a hot goaltender against Maine. Just how much do those experiences speed the growth of this team as the season goes on?
Well, I think it does help. You don't want to be chasing a game. First of all, you don't want to be chasing a game every game, giving up a goal or two and then trying to do that, because as the competition gets steeper, it's going to be tougher to do that. So again, we tried about coming out of the chute and taking a lead. We did that Saturday night. I thought we had a tremendous jump on Saturday. We got out of the chute right away. Didn't get rewarded for it, but we stuck with it, and I thought we played a good game. So again, that's our focus. And again, that doesn't start just in a game. That starts in practice. From the first drill that you have in your daily practices, you have to be sharp right away. You can't dip your toe in the water.
What makes Brock Besser an effective player?
I think just his offensive instincts, and number one, obviously he has that, the shooting ability, the plays that he makes to his other teammates in the offensive zone. But I think what makes him a special player is he's got top-end skill, but he does the stuff away from the puck. If you noticed in Maine, he gave up his body a couple times in the defensive zone and blocked shots. A lot of times top offensive players are not likely to do that all the time. He does that. The other thing, too, is we had a couple chip outs that went for icing calls. He beat out the other guy down to the other end of the rink. That's a big deal. The hustle that he has, the tenacity he has with the puck and away from the puck, that's special qualities for a player.
How critical was it to try to get him when he became, uncommitted again last year? You don't usually have guys of that caliber uncommitted that late in the game.
No, but again, knowing that when he was on the market after the decommitment, that was the first thing we did is get after it and try to get him into our building, or try to get him on a visit, just because of that dynamic. We've have a previous history of him, of evaluating him at a younger age in high school, when he played a little bit of junior in the USHL, in the USA camps in the summer. We went out to, I think it was Buffalo, New York, and he was by far the best in his age group out in Buffalo. And again, when you have that, he was already committed at the time, so he couldn't do anything about it. But when he came on the market, we had a body of work as far as who he was. We want that guy, and again, we're very blessed and thankful he's in our group.